forum and he'd like to respond to those, I think that's very appropriate for that to take place now. So again, are we able to keep the name Squaw Valley at all? I don't know. But again, if it's important for the residents of this community to communicate clearly about what their desire is, and I'm going to communicate that to the governor's office. I'm going to communicate that to the President of the United States as well as the Department of the Interior. If there is a name change to occur, who gets to choose? Well, I'll tell you right now that there have been a select few individuals that have put some suggested name changes out there, and again, they've left a lot of the residences out of this process. My goal is if a name change is to occur, you pick what that name is to be. Will they address the cost of business having to change all their marketing materials? So I know that Roman Raintree at one point had said that he had put a GoFundMe account together. I don't know where all of that stands, and he'll have an opportunity to share. And I don't know if AB 2022 is passed or if the Department of Interior takes action prior to AB 2022 taking effect, if the federal and or state government is going to cover all costs. Some questions have come up about vital statistics, vital records, driver's licenses. Who's going to pay for those needing to be changed? And I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question at this time. Two more questions, and then we're going to open it up to all of you. Does this affect non-federally recognized tribes, and would the non-federally recognized tribes be looped in with other federally recognized tribes? So I do want to say that over the course of the last 2 years, I've had an opportunity to speak to both federally recognized tribes, non-federally recognized tribes, individuals who have Native American blood, some who are part of different tribes locally and separately, and it runs the gamut about what people think about the name. But I will tell you, by and large, communications I've had with most of the tribes here locally, what they say is, regardless of how we feel, the residents should decide for themselves what their name is to be, and also too the local tribe. As I understand it, the local Squaw Valley tribe, all the research I've done, and again, I am not an expert in this area, but it's my understanding that the Waxahchie tribe, who has been here for many hundreds of years, is the only local tribe to Squaw Valley. And I've really tried to seek out individuals who are part of that tribe to hear kind of what they've wanted, how they feel as well. Can we have a vote for the name change and express our local opinions? And so again, yes. And the mailing that I'm going to be doing will help to accomplish that. But I want to let all of you know as well that if for some reason or another you don't get this mailing from me, you're more than welcome to email my office or communicate through Facebook. I would prefer an email because we're documenting all of this stuff as much as possible. But the mailings that I am sending out, that's so important to me because these are verified addresses that I have of people who live in Squaw Valley. So I want to make sure I communicate clearly what the residents want to, again, our federal, state, and local representatives. So with that, I'd like to get to the point where all of you can have an opportunity to comment and or ask questions. I'll do my best to answer questions. So with that, just raise your hand and I'll, yes, right here. I'll do my very best to get to everyone. We have someone with a microphone who will come up and...
Good afternoon. My name is Roseanne Dominguez. I'm one of those people who have lived here my entire life. My grandparents have lived here, my great-grandparents, my ancestors back to the conquistadors have lived here. I am of this valley. I am Waxahchie. I am Wachumni. I am Chuckamania, Kachali, and Michikai. I am a part of the matriarchal team or family that was a part of this valley. All right? We've never been contacted to talk about our desire. I can tell you right now, this family is against a name change because you're erasing my family. I deeply resent that. I deeply resent anyone coming in and talking about my family not belonging if they don't live locally. I've lived locally my entire life. I'm deeply against this. I know some people find the name offensive. I know some people find it demeaning, all I can say for those people is I'm sorry you've experienced something negative attached to the word squaw. To my people, to my ancestors, it's meant woman. That's all it's ever meant. I know that some women have experienced demeaning, that word being used in a demeaning manner to them. Those women have also told me they've gotten those people's faces and straightened them out. We know what it means to be a strong woman because we're the people that have lived here. We're the people that kept our families going when the men went out to hunt and to gather and to get the supplies to survive. It was my ancestors, my ancestress who did that, okay? And I know there are so many new families in this valley. There was a time when most of us could recognize our neighbors, and we could say, hey, we could ride the properties, we could ride the fields. We knew everyone. There's so many new people here. And I'm not taking away the fact that some people may find that word offensive. I don't. And I think my family's history should have a say in my family's home. Thank you.
We have a young lady over here who'd like to make a comment. I think we've got a microphone right here for you.
Hi, I'm a resident of Squaw Valley, and I'd just like to correct some information that you gave, Mr. Magsig.
Sure.
The fact is, the name cannot be kept. The law has already been passed, and what we really need to be talking about is what would be an appropriate name for our community. And we're not going to be able to keep the name. That's just the truth. And Mr. Magsig, I think you should be honest about that. The bill was passed unanimously by the state legislature. Jim Patterson voted for it. It's already law.
All right, hold on.
I would ask people, give her some respect.
Yeah, hold on. So, I want to share with you, we have several hundred people here today, and it's very important for all of us to respect what each person has to say.
I know you don't
I
respect
understand,
the
but
tribes here.
please, it's important for everybody's voice to be heard. So with that,
Would you please correct that information though, Mr. Magsig? The law is passed and we need to discuss what would be appropriate.
well, so I will say this.
We cannot keep the name.
Well,
We cannot.
Isn't there 6 places that are under review?
so
It's already been changed.
The state law has, supersedes the feds. The feds could not rename our
Well,
community.
let
They
me-
renamed our basin. Our geographic basin
All right,
is
hold
now
on.
called Yokuts
So
Valley.
hold on one second. I will share. So at the end of the day, the purpose of this meeting today is for your voices to be heard. And the people of Squaw Valley, your voice has been left out of this process. My goal is to give all of you an opportunity to express what you want, and I'm going to communicate that. I will concede this. I cannot guarantee you that the Squaw Valley name can be kept. But I can tell you, if there is an opportunity for Fresno County to fight to keep the name, if there's any legal opportunity to do that, if that is the desire of the residents of Squaw Valley, I commit to you that we will do that. So. We have a young lady here in the back.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Jocelyn Harper, and I'm not only a second-generation Squaw Valleyan, but I am related to the Drakes.
Who did not inform you this is going on. Did he tell you?
You mean Magsig?
The supervisor.
Supervisor Magsig.
Who? That name originally from? Tell me.
White settlers.
Why not name the indigenous land? The area. What's Bear Mountain? That's here. I'm a descendant. Oh, wait.
Why change it at all?
Because it's
It's not me
offensive.
changing it.
Why anybody would want to change
That's
Because it's
you can
offensive.
ask-
It's a federal order.
it all in a derogatory manner, and it's been Squaw Valley for a long
And where did it come from? Let me know where it came from.
So then how can you say you want to preserve history if you don't care where it came from?
Came from white settlers.
Make up your mind.
At one time or another, now we're to rewrite history?
No, I don't want you to rewrite history. I want to expose it. I want you to understand that.
It was exposed a long time ago.
Then why don't you know it?
About it?
Then why don't you know it?
Okay, I can't.
I can tell you where the name Squaw Valley came from.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll just tell them what. May I come at front?
Do what you want, it's not mine.
Okay. No respect, disrespect for you at all. But I'm Leslie Hooper. Nice to meet you. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. My name is Leslie Hooper. Our family's been up here for many generations. We ranch here. I was lucky enough as a young girl. So on our property, I've got rocks everywhere. When we first moved up here, my grandpa was here before we were. When we moved up here, our population sign said 99. There was one light that we could see. It was a Squaw Valley store. I know. But Helen was a big part of our community. And a lot of the old families here know her and what she stood for. She brought our community together all the time. And a lot of our ranching communities that ranch up here, we do the same thing. That is where the name Squaw Valley came from. It was never meant to be negative at all. It's part of our history of our community. We are Squaw Valley. And absolutely.
That's an incomplete
This
story.
Klingon had her thing. Klingon her. The thing is, go ahead, I'll wait. No, when did you move here?
Huh.
Oh my God. I know. This is your,
I know it's my meeting, but you gotta make your comments and then I gotta get
Okay. Anybody know Molly Charlie, Molly Tyner, Molly Turner? Anybody know George Smith? Well, this is his history record. He talks about the name of Squaw Valley. He talks about in 1851, 52, we signed a treaty. By 1853, we were hunted down. We were hunted down to the California militia.
Get him out of here. He's sitting here mouthing off crap again.
So this is archives, it's not me.
Mouthing again.
This is from the archives. I did not produce this paperwork. And so it's not me. 1905.
What does it say about squaw?
Lucy did remember
You're rude.
hearing that the parents talked about the soldiers in the past. In 1855, the governor of California put bounties on our heads.
Let him finish.
Let me finish. In 18,
You just don't like what you're hearing.
and by that time, had bounties on our heads. This is our history. This is the true history. What happened? Why weren't there any men up there? Why was it called Squaw Valley? What happened? What happened to the men? The men were chased down and they were decapitated. Hey, I got the warrants. I got the names here. All the family. See, these were the families that were doing it. It's all state record. So, there was how much?
All right, so there's a young lady who has been waiting a long time, and I know I'm going to try to get to as many of you that haven't had an opportunity to speak, so please.
Thank you. My name is Gladys Dick McKinney, and my tribe is 10 miles up the road at Dunlop Vandermoto. I am speaking on behalf of myself, my husband, and my brother, Rusty Dick. He has 2 hearing aids from the Vietnam War, and he can't hear in a meeting like this. But he did ask me, why do they want to change the name Squaw Valley? And I said, it's not us, it's outsiders, do-gooders, who think they know what's best for us. The other thing I want to tell you, I support the name Squaw Valley. I am a woman of the tribe that can speak for myself. I do not have to have Raintree, who is my cousin, speak on my behalf because he doesn't speak on behalf of the tribe. So I want to say that let's keep the name Squaw Valley because that is our original name. Even though I don't live here, I support the girls that live here in Squaw Valley, and they live here. Now, Mugs Cannon, I don't see her here, but she's 94 years old. She's another historian. So, that book that I have, that Forrest Klingon and his wife, Helen, I think Mary has it. And it talks about Squaw Valley, Pinehurst, Dunlap, Badger. We're all small communities, and we need to support each other. Thank you.
All right, so we've got about 15 more minutes, so here's what I want. Again, hands raised. We're going to try to get to as many of you as we possibly can. People with microphones are going to be looking for your hands raised. They're going to come up to you. This gentleman right here with the blue hat's been waiting. We're going to start with him.
I went down to the bank today. Anyway, I asked about, this changing of the law here, to fall out or something else. And according to the bank down there, it all starts with the post office. But yet, what is not a particular place here is what it's going to cost the people that's on Medicare, Medi-Cal, and retirement. The difference in changing what they have to go through and the money's going to cost. And another question that has been asked here is, Kings Canyon Unified School District, which services the area up here, all the kids up in this area, the address is going to change. They're going to call on account of the name. Now, has anybody been to Kings Canyon Unified and asked them what they feel about the name being changed to something else through all our paperwork? What the cost is going to be to them?
To my knowledge, I don't believe that question has been posed to the school district, but there will be costs involved with the name change, absolutely.
Magsig.
That's the question. Who's going to pay for it?
He got it.
Yes.
He can afford it.
Okay. My name's Tom Nichols. I live in Squaw Valley. First, a shameless plug. You'll see me on the ballot in November for Assembly District 8, and I never would have signed AB 2022. I do want to say that while there might be some valid arguments on both sides of this issue, from native and non-native alike, I grew up in a family. My mother's indigenous. I grew up here, and my dad called her squaw as a term of endearment. But that's my personal experience. I can't say that happens for everybody. But for me, the main issue is if we want to change our name, we should do it as a community and go through the proper procedure. And it should not be forced on us, not by the feds, not by the state via AB 2022. It's a matter of free speech. We have a constitution that protects that, not just public landmarks or mountains or whatever. It includes the names of our community and our town here. And so for that reason, I am definitely against AB 2022 and forcing this name change on our beautiful community of Squaw Valley.
I am a descendant of an Algonquin squaw, and she was
That's where the name came
they're highly revered. I understand it's on the Eastern Seaboard, so it's different maybe in the Western states, but I liked when I came to Squaw Valley 30-some years ago that a woman was represented in a sense by the town name. How cool. It's about women and what we represent and our strength. So that's how I've taken Squaw Valley. I have a question for Roman Raintree. What newspaper did you post your full page in?
Presently.
Okay. And then for Mr. Magsig, I was wondering, when you send the questionnaires to the houses, will it be for each adult in the house, each voter represented, or one?
One to each household.
Okay, so is it
Well,
loud?
the reason, I understand. The reason is why we're doing just one per household right now is because of the time constraint that we have on all of this.
It's an extra stamp.
Well,
It's an extra
and
stamp.
also the cost. I will tell you that with this,
Why don't you take some of that budget out of your office remodel then? It's an extra stamp. Send it to all the voters.
Well, I understand all that. At this point, the mailing is going to be one per household.
But it should be one per voter.
If one adult fills out your questionnaire, can the other adult then email you?
Yes.
And that is then it's counted as two, so we're still, each person's represented in the household?
Allegedly.
You can email me now. And
Okay.
so if you want to email my office, that is just fine. You're welcome to do that.
So I could email and he could use your questionnaire and we're counted as two?
You're able to do that. Yes, absolutely. And I will look at both, and that will be part of my tabulation. Yes. So you can photocopy it. You can do whatever you want with that mailing I sent to you. So if you want to, whatever you want to do to communicate back, that is up to you. But
So it's
again,
too
I
cheap to
wanted to
send
have a
out
process
voters.
in place for voices to be heard from Squaw Valley.
But he's getting a new office.
So there's, hold on. Well, yes, because I'm going to communicate exactly what is shared with me back to the governor's office, back to the Department of Interior, and of course to Congress and to the president.
Yeah,
So,
good luck with that.
Yes.
So hello, my name is David. I'm Supervisor Magsig's field representative. So this is Brett. This is the chief of staff. We have all of our cards on us for anybody that wants to email us in as well. Looking at that, we do only have about 10 minutes left. We want to really get through as many as we can. So if you want to make your comments, we're going to bounce around really, really quick. And then we're going to kind of wrap it up because we know we really heard everybody here. And we want to make sure that you guys get home in a timely manner as well.
All I can say is you guys have a lot of audacity to stand in front of us right here and waste our time and money when our school doesn't even have a sports program. And all our Native American kids that go to that school can't even play basketball, or wrestle, or do anything like that. You guys are wasting our time.
I'd like to speak very briefly to our representative here. Thank you for coming out. And I see what's happening here. I'm kind of following a little bit on Lonnie Burke's back. I had the privilege of speaking in front of the Visalia City Council when it was proposed to give a wall to BLM 2 years ago. I was the realtor spokesman. And I see a lot of what's happening here. And this, like Mr. Work said, this is going to be a long fight. And so my closing remarks would be to thank you for coming and putting up with us. We've often been known as Squaw Valley as a band of renegades, and there's some truth in that. Okay, but what I want to say to all you folks here, one of the most divisive things to break down our culture began a couple decades ago with the concept of multiculturalism. We are many nationalities, one culture. We are Americans. This divisive terminology of I'm Hispanic, I'm African American, I'm Native American.
Yeah, where is the black community? How come you didn't invite us?
Let me, just rhetorical, what am I? Can any of you guess? No, what's my ethnicity? These folks can claim ethnicity, what about me?
What are you?
I'm German.
Well, there you go.
So what? The last time I looked at the colors on our flag, they were red, white, and blue. They were not. And if we continue this craziness in our country and don't stop it here in our community,
the insanity
of using
of equality.
political correctness and start dividing people at ethnicities, or start changing laws and lands because a few people get their feelings hurt. That is bad. That's bad for Squaw Valley. That's bad for an American. I've been a resident here 32 years. And when we stand in front of that flag, we say, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. And if I think this way, folks, if you don't like the name Squaw Valley, let your voice be heard, but if it hurts you that bad, if you retain Squaw Valley, move. It's America, move.
We were here first. We were here first. You're German, remember? Why aren't you in Germany then? You can't hear her.
Is an indication of falsehood. What's in the name? Once the question was asked, what's in the name? Arose by any other name as well as sweet. Like any other name, a rose would not be a rose. It would be some other plant, identified as something else. Likewise, a person who changes their name, strips themselves of who they are. Everything changes. A different person, a new history, to change the name of the community. You strip away history, and how the people look at themselves. In some ways, the whole community is ways of life. To start anew, the same but never the same. A community that could possibly never be put back together again, as it was before. A loss of self, a loss of self. And I will give you a little brief history of myself. I may not look like it, but I do have Iroquois blood in me. My father, his family came on the Mayflower. So where along the line, one of them fell in love with an Iroquois woman, and they had children. To look at me, you would not see that. You would see the Norwegian heritage. And from that, I'm third generation here. So I am a combination of both sit vinegar and long memories. I do hold grudges. I want the name Squaw Valley to remain strong. This is personal. I have not had a history here as others. I guess you can say I'm a short time person. I've only been here 21 years. But I love this community just as much as if I was born here. Thank you very much.
For all of you, concerned about the name change, but it had a name before it was even called that. Why not go back to that tribal name? Love it.
Why not listen to the people, let them make the choice, not you?
Go back to Fresno.
Go back to Europe.
I have a question for Roman. Everybody here has been here for a long time. Most of the people have been here. I grew up here. I was born here. I was raised here. My question for you is, what is the definition of the derogatory word?
You want to look it up?
Some people like to think before they speak.
For me, and from what I've come to understand it, and by a lot of other folks, is that it's...
That's what she asked.
Question for Roman.
Is your name Webster?
Go ahead. I'm just trying to sound.
It is a word that is specific for an indigenous women, meaning the C word.
So it's any derogatory word refers to indigenous people?
No. What did I just say? It sounds like you didn't understand what I said.
No, you didn't understand the question. I asked you, what is the definition
you don't like
of a
the answer.
derogatory word?
So offensive. I don't know. I'd have to have a dictionary. I'm not a Webster.
The Webster Dictionary says it is showing a critical or disrespectful attitude. Do you think anyone in this community has a disrespectful attitude towards the word squaw? Have you heard one person say that they have that word, hold that word in disrespect or derogatory intention towards the indigenous people?
Yes.
One person here.
Yes.
One person here?
One person
On
here
the
in this
way in.
community who love their name, hold that word in a derogatory term, a derogatory way. Can you point them out, please?
No, I'm not going to do that. That's like a loaded question.
If anybody has any derogatory intention towards that word, would you please stand up? Woo! There's a lot of people sitting down. English language, any language, changes and evolves.
That's
That
not an
word
English
does
word.
not hold the derogatory connotation that you think it does.
No, it does. As That's why it's deemed offensive
Thank
by
you
the
for
federal
answering my
government.
question.
It's deemed offensive, deemed to be equal with the N word and the J word. No, you do.
Please.
How do I? I'm fucking native, bro.
Hold on one second. I have a gentleman. Hey, please. Hold on. We have another question right here.
My name is David Wilverding. We've owned property up here for about 15 years. I am a Fresno native. I was attracted to this area by its topography and the beauty of the surrounding hills and lands. I was pleased to live in a community that gave a little credit to our women. With regards to what, I wasn't going to go into this, but with regards to what the young lady said just before me, my ethnicity is primarily two things: Dutch and Chiricahua Apache. Yes, I resemble the Dutch side. And maybe a sprinkling of European Heinz 57. Interesting point. We have a tool that I think probably everybody here has used at one time or another to cut weeds with. If you're in farming, you've certainly used it. It's called a hoe. Now, we have another tool that's used in construction. It's called a hoe. It's a backhoe. So, are we going to have to change the name of all this stuff to satisfy people?
It's a false equivalency.
The next point I want to make, and this is really serious, and I think y'all, many of you are going to have to take it seriously. Should there be a name change effective, and that's a probability, we have to admit that. Should there be a name change effective, and let's say we were absorbed into Dunlap, many of us, if they change the zip code, will lose our health insurance.
No, you won't.
Because a major health insurance provider for this area will not service that zip code. And I have been through that when I lived in Southern California. I have been through that. They do that. I've seen it happen. They did it to my mother when she moved from one community when she was ill and elderly to our care in our home, her insurance. I had a neighbor who worked for